Hi, my name is Shreya Sharma, and I recently gave the Neet 2020 examinations. I wanted to take a moment to talk about the rules and regulations which NTA had to implement due to this global pandemic that we've been experiencing. I felt that they personally did a great job. Social distancing was practiced as much as possible everywhere, from the moment you entered the examination center or the grounds, if you want to call it, till the end of the examination, till I was out. All the students were given masks and gloves, and sanitizers were available from all of the faculty, and it was nicely set up, and there were checkpoints everywhere to ensure that we did our level best to make sure this virus doesn't spread as much as it already has, unfortunately. So I would really like to just take this time to mention all that. The examination itself ran smoothly, there were no issues whatsoever, and it was just very well organized.
So I entered the examination hall for NEET at 11:40 in the morning. It was a mass entry and it was a super crowded gate. When I sat on the allotted desk, I soon realized there was not much distancing between me and my fellow mate's desk, and that was definitely a fallout. Apart from the medical test that was being conducted by the NTA, I believe that a physical test was also being conducted because sitting straight for 5 hours without fan and water was definitely a challenge for every student in the room. Special mention to the sweaty gloves that made the simple task of holding a pen a very complex one. Even though the paper was NCRT based, I still kept on fearing that I might catch the deadly coronavirus and then pass it on to the near and dear ones because the rules and regulations were hardly being followed. Been doing self isolation for precautionary measures till 20th September so that I don't risk the life of my family members like how the government did of mine.
Hello everyone, my name is Kushi and I'm going to tell about my experience in giving a national test during the coronavirus. And to be honest, it wasn't a good one because all the rules and regulations stated by the government were just rules written on paper and it wasn't really being followed. Also, I had this one case in my class where the child was continuously coughing and the teacher, asking him to wear the mask, not sanitizing him and not sanitizing us as well. We were not allowed to get the sanitizers inside the class because of the cheating issues. So it was literally scary. And the child was also sitting just a seat behind me, not a 6 feet distance was also not being followed. Just like outside the center where parents, staff, students were just all over each other, and social distancing was just a long gone concept. All in all, my experience, as I said, was not that good, but I have taken all the safety precautions when I reached home, and I think so does as everybody. And let's fish for the best.
Well, it was a new experience for me. Both the centers were following all the norms and social distancing properly. There was no hustle, and at different places, there were sanitizers available so that students can use them. And after every shift, they were sanitizing everything properly. All the invigilators were taking precautions very well and were cooperating with us.
Hello, this is Vinayak Aba. I'm a NEET aspirant. I appeared for NEET 2020 this year, and this was a whole different experience or a whole different situation for me because what we planned 2.5 years back of when we started preparing for it, like we go for the exam and it was smooth conduct and with a lot of joyous mood we'll come out of the center. But this time when we actually appeared for the exam, there was a whole different situation. The coronavirus, which is spreading on extremely high rate. There are multiple cases every day, new deaths every day. So this was a different experience for us, a very tough situation for us. It was a constant fear of being infected, or then that fear is not only because we can get the virus or we can get infected, but also we can transmit this disease to or more people, our family, our friends whom we meet later or when we return home.
So hello guys, I'm a NEET aspirant. I gave this NEET this 13th September 2020. Okay, so I would like to share my experience giving a national test, that how were the rules or norms followed before the examination, during the examination, after the examination. So let's get started. So when I went down the hall, at the entry, the gatekeepers recorded my temperature. They were seeing all things were normal or not. And then when I entered the examination to the hall, there was a large gap between the students. So I think that this was a fairly good measure that the superiority and the government took. And during the examination also we were given fresh masks. This was also a good measure, I think that. So my experience were really good. I feel so that the norms were followed, but only during when the examination ended. Then also every class were given a gap of 5 to 10 minutes. After then the students departed, and only the limit was that when the examination ended, there was a large group of parents, and there was a lot of crowding outside the examination hall, outside the school. My center was the HW school. Outside the school, there was a lot of.
Hi, I'm Sanchit Punyani, and I'm one of the students who was supposed to give NEET 2020. And as you all know about the current situation of coronavirus in India, my father asked that you really want to give the exam or not, since it was really important to me as it was my drop year, and all his points were really valid. That what if I get in contact with a person with coronavirus, I could really pass it on to my parents and grandparents who don't have that much immunity, and which could lead to a life or death situation to them. So on the examination day, I thought I should give it a shot, and I thought that maybe I should go on the center and maybe then decide. So when I reached the center, I saw so many people actually, and there was so much hustle and bustle. It was really worse than a fish market, and the so-called social distancing I couldn't really see. And after thinking that, I thought that I should drop this year or try for another college or another course maybe. So I think I'm thankful to my parents that I'm saved, and government really failed for the future of India.